Jeremy Heimans, New Power, How Power Works in Our Hyperconnected World and How to Make It Work for You. Welcome to the world of a new power, where the age-old hierarchical structures are being challenged and transformed by the ever-increasing connectivity of people and ideas. In this book summary, you will explore how new power dynamics are reshaping the way we participate in various aspects of our lives, be it civic, political, or economic. Discover how technology is redefining organizations, enabling greater collaboration, and empowering individuals, while also revealing tensions between traditional command structures and new, fluid ways of functioning. As you learn about the values, models, and techniques at play, you will gain an understanding of how to harness the potential of new power in the 21st century hyperconnected world.
The rise of new power. In the past, society was imagined as a giant machine where people had limited opportunities to meaningfully participate in any role. Companies hoarded power and made decisions for those participating in their systems. But with hyperconnected technology, the horizontality of power distribution is changing our behavior. We now have the tools to easily meet other like-minded people, lobby for change, and organize resistance. This has created a demand for a right to participate, as exemplified by Letitia Brown James. A lifetime epileptic, Brown James found Patients Like Me, an online community of thousands of patients sharing experiences, recommendations, and personal medical data. Through the platform, she discovered that brain surgery is an effective treatment for epilepsy, which her previous neurologist had never discussed with her. By taking control of her healthcare and using new power, Brown James underwent the surgery and has been seizure-free for 5 years. Old Power versus New Power. This book reveals the fundamental differences between the two systems of power and the way they shape society. Using the comparison of a parent and child, the author explains how old power is characterized by centralized governance, competitiveness and secrecy, while new power promotes decentralized networks, collaboration and transparency. The shift also affects individuals, as traditional passive consumers become makers and temporary affiliation replaces long-term commitment to brands. This insightful guide explores the transformations underway and their implications for work, politics, and social life. Old power versus new power. When it comes to power systems, it's not just about the values, but also the models they are built on. Old power models follow a pyramid structure with centralized decision-making, while new power models distribute power among participants. However, organizations can blend both new and old power models. Patagonia is an example of a company that uses old power models but collaborates with its customers to promote sustainability. Facebook, on the other hand, uses a new power model but does not value transparency or user input. It's important to understand the differences between old and new power models to build effective and ethical organizations. The success and ACE principles of sticky ideas. How can ideas stick and spread in the digital age? Chip and Dan Heath's Made to Stick introduced the success acronym for crafting sticky ideas: simplicity, unexpectedness, concreteness, credibility, emotions, and stories. But now, ACE, actionable, connection, and extensibility is the key to making ideas spread. Actionable ideas encourage participation, connected ideas harness the power of online networking, and extensible ideas allow participants to remix and alter them while maintaining their structure. The Ice Bucket Challenge effectively employed ACE by requiring action, utilizing social networks, and encouraging remixing. 5 steps to harness the power of crowds. New power cannot be hoarded by corporations. Anyone can harness it, but first, you need to build a crowd. Here are 5 steps to harness the power of crowds. Step 1 involves finding your connected connectors, the influential individuals who share your vision. Step 2 is building a brand that embodies new power. An example of this is Airbnb, who relaunched its brand to be remixed. Step 3 and 4 involve lowering barriers for participation and moving users up the participation scale. Tinder is an example of how to lower barriers while funding, producing and shaping a community is an example of reaching the top of the scale. Finally, sometimes, a crowd will form from a storm of engagement, and you need to be ready to harness the changing weather. An example of this is the Australian activist network, Get Up, succeeding in hijacking a charity auction and crowdfunding a winning bid for a young Afghan refugee. The triangular dynamics of a new power community. A new power community is made up of three stakeholders: platform owners, users, and super participants, all engaged in a triangular-shaped dynamic. Platform owners set the overarching rules, while users contribute most to its economic value, and super participants play extremely active roles in the community. It is crucial to balance each key actor's interests to avoid conflicts. Recognizing participants for their contributions through recognition systems, like Reddit's Karma, is a great way of showing their value and incentivizing great new content. The participation premium. Successful new power communities require more than a well-balanced triangle. They need a small ensemble of outside players and partners to achieve orbit. The participation premium, which combines a product or service with a higher purpose, is an essential component for success. The IKEA effect and Chinese smartphone brand Xiaomi serve as prime examples of this theory. Meanwhile, Invisible Children's Kony 2012 failed due to a lack of outside influencers orbiting its triangle, leading to a damaged reputation. Old and new power convergence. The collision between old and new power is shaping our current world, and leadership styles are evolving. Traditional leaders are embracing new techniques, which involve signaling, structuring, and shaping. The Pope is an excellent example of a new power leader who uses unorthodox actions to demonstrate personal values to subordinates. Additionally, he uses leadership as a restructuring process by decentralizing power to flip the old power pyramid to an inverted pyramid. Shaping is also a leadership style that subtly influences the general direction of an organization. On the other hand, structuring involves leading by example, a passive approach. However, blending both old and new power leadership styles could be the key to success. An excellent example of this is Podemos, Spain's progressive political party, which initially used old power tactics by launching a TV show to gain a following for its charismatic leader. However, when launched as an official party, they embraced new power values by using revolutionary democratic methods like crowdsourcing policies. This hybrid approach provides a compelling leadership model for an ever-changing world.
In conclusion, New Power sheds light on the shift in power dynamics brought about by our hyperconnected world, within and across organizations and society at large. From the decline of passive consumption to the rise of the makers, it delves into the clashes between old and new power values, and outlines how new power models are changing people's roles and attitudes. To thrive in this new landscape, leaders need to successfully balance their key actors, platform owners, participants, and super participants, and employ signaling, structuring, and shaping techniques. Embracing the power of new power requires mastering the art of grounding vision and purpose in the participation of the crowd, recognizing evolving user relationships, and navigating the balance between top-down leadership and grassroots, bottom-up action.